From the Bob Mills Weather Center, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
All right, hard to believe July is out the door. August is rolling on in, and of course we all know what happened in July. A lot of that red stuff, and there was only a couple of gold-yellow colors. In fact, 4 days were at or below normal. That was it. Holy moly. It was the last 3 days that were really beneficial, though, for several folks. We ended up with some pretty good rains, but in review, 88 degrees, hottest was 108, so that was 20 days at or above 100 degrees. I think we all know that. But where did we end up for the month of July when we look at all of our records? In 7th place. And, you know, some of these are, these are all ugly years. Sorry. So we're going to be in the ugly year category as well, because anything above us was just times that you don't want to ever go back and repeat. And unfortunately, we came close. But there is good news as we go into August. Temperatures, this is the hottest time of the year. That's not such great news if you don't want hot weather. But by the end of the month, the days are getting a little bit shorter. And there is a noticeable trend, especially late in the month, of temperatures starting to drop off a little bit. And some of us had rain. Up into Mays County had the best. You can see it's really colored in red, a lot of that. And that was really heavy rains, pushing 5 inches. And then around the metro area, we're 2, 3.5, and 3 3/4, almost to 4 inches in a few areas. In fact, we had multiple reports of near 4 inches from Bixby to Broken Arrow. And again, just kind of depended on the rain gauge. But notice there's also a strip that had maybe 1.5 inches of rain from Catoosa off to these. So it just depended upon your location of where you were. And one of the things that happened was the further north we went in our viewing area in southeast Kansas, there wasn't a whole lot. There was at least finally Bartlesville area and then back into portions of Osage County. On that last day we talked about Friday night, say, hey, you got one more shot. Unfortunately, it did rain then. But if you were south of I-40, tell you what, sorry to say, it is just not good. And it's not going to get any better right now because we don't have anything fantastic coming up. So you're already in a massive drought. The Northeast is going to see some improvement in our viewing area just because it's been a nasty part, extreme drought conditions. The South is going to have to stay. And overlaying basically the rainfall amounts, again, the South just didn't have enough dusting to settle the dust, maybe a little bit of mud. Few folks maybe had some good rains, but a lot of rain gauges were not near what they needed to be. To the north and northeast, it was much better. You get up around Miami and then in southeast Kansas, not quite as much so. Over the next 10 days, we don't have a whole lot showing up. In fact, really, I almost go 14 days. There'll be a few isolated storms, but not a lot. And then as we look at August all the way to October, we're expecting the drought to persist across the region. So again, you have to be aware of what's going on. Overall, drier conditions as we go through August and hotter conditions. So we've already got that figured out. And in the metro right now, we're generally in the 80s with some 70s in southeastern Oklahoma as well. And then we can see tomorrow morning we're in the 70s. By the time we get into the afternoon, we're near 100. We have heat advisory in effect across the area. And that's going to continue for a while. 79 tomorrow morning. We're looking at temperatures that'll be at 93 at noontime. And again, that heat advisory going strong, and you try to stay cool somehow. 100 in the afternoon. Heat index values around 106. Still looking at a century mark basically through the entire time period. Nighttime lows 70s to low 80s. It is going to be hot. Few chances of rain. That is your weather. Sports is coming up next.